everyone, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mark.
And welcome to Strange Stuff Podcast.
Yes, welcome. And are you back in the land of work?
No. I told you that, just because somebody's bought the place, it doesn't necessarily mean anything's going to happen in the next 10 minutes.
No, you're right. Oh, it's certainly quite encouraging, though, isn't it?
It kind of is and it isn't, because it's an American company that's purchased it and they manufacture lithium-ion batteries for drones for war.
Ah.
Which goes against everything I fucking believe in.
Yeah. Yeah.
However,
really, it's a military company, is it? That's what that's their primary is defence.
Allegedly defence. We call it oil invasion and stealing, where I come from. But
you've got to be careful what you say, Andy. Otherwise, you won't get a job, or wouldn't you take a job?
I'm not entirely sure it's for me. And I can say what I want.
Well, of course you can, but you've got to take responsibility in terms of how they may scan social media to see if you're a suitable candidate to take the job, to be offered the job.
If they scan and find this podcast, as far as I'm concerned, it's a win-win because we've got one extra listener.
Yes, but you don't earn anything off this. You can't eat your viewers from podcasting.
I don't know exactly what I haven't looked them up, to be honest. I just understand that they make batteries for drones.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
As I say, it could be months before anything actually starts ticking over here.
Well, I did read that they were planning on doing something before October or by October.
Okay.
So they seem to be. It was interesting actually. I remember when the shooting match all went up in smoke. I thought a lot of the machines were leased and they just went back to their owners.
They are leased, but the problem is they're fucking enormous, and it actually would cost the owners more to take them back and then try to resell them than it would to try and auction them in situ, which is basically what they were trying to do.
Yeah. Oh.
So a lot of the machines are still there, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee that they'll even want a workshop. Not everybody does. They sort of outsource a lot of their work.
Yes, admittedly. But if you have a production facility such as that, it has to be advantageous to have in-house capability.
I would say so as well. I mean, it comes under the guise of maintenance, and they're definitely going to have a maintenance company.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. So what else is new? How was Therese and her hubby?
Oh, when they finally got here, they were good. We went to my local pizza place, which is basically all you can get in Sweden. But they were so late, we didn't. They'd already closed the kitchen, basically. But they did make us some pizzas, but that was it. We could only have pizza.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we were just talking and chatting, and all of a sudden the guy started turning the lights off.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But then, they'd driven that day, the day before, from Norway, slept in the forest in a tent overnight.
Oh, my God.
And then drove the rest of the way, picked up the trailer, picked up the motorbike, then came to me, then came back to my place, had some tea and some cakey, and then got back in the car at about 10:30 in the evening and started heading back with the intention of sleeping in the forest under the stars again.
Oh, my God.
I said,
it's nice weather for it, but yeah.
I said, for fuck's sake, just use my bed, sleep here for a few hours and get some proper rest. But
the thought of sleeping in a bed that you had been in was so abhorrent to them that they decided to set off in the forest.
Teresa wanted to, but he got a bit jelly.
Oh, dear. So I can't remember. When did we last speak?
last week.
It was Thursday, was it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Was it Thursday? Oh, yes, it was Thursday morning. Of course it was. 8:00. Well, the only exciting thing for me on a personal note is that I took an unplanned dip into the middle of Scillian on my rowing on Thursday evening.
You took a ducking.
It was bloody unusual, actually, because I was in a double.
So did you go from hero to zero then?
Exactly. And a double is actually quite difficult to capsize. I mean, quite difficult. But as with everything, it was just a combination of things. It was pretty choppy water, I have to say. But no, within an instant, there was no sort of, oh, it's getting wobbly, we're going in. It was like literally within an instant, the thing capsized. And the lady behind me, Linda, and I ended up in the water with a capsized boat. So, it was... You didn't have time to think about it, but...
Did you try to life save her?
No, I didn't. I didn't need to. She was fine.
Did you try to give her mouth to mouth underwater?
But amazingly, with the instructions from the coach and the safety boat, we actually managed to get back in, which was a bloody challenge. I mean, that really is a challenge, I have to say. But we did get back in.
Oh, fuck off. I've seen Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was like DiCaprio, holding on to that piece of wood in the middle of the ocean. So that was quite exciting.
Oh, dear.
Other than that, it's been building work for me.
I just had a beep.
Oh, dear. Have you screwed up?
No, it's my headphones. Just.
Have you forgot to press the button and we're not recording again?
No, we're definitely recording. My headphones decided to disconnect and then reconnect.
Oh, God. That's the problem when you have these, not hands-free, wireless everything.
It's not a problem.
It is.
Well, it's clearly not, because nothing bad has happened.
Oh. But other than that, you got that idiot Trump meeting that idiot Putin. I don't know whether they're actually meeting in Russia, of course, because Alaska's now part of Russia.
It's just like this is worse than, I don't know. It's like going on longer than Brexit, and it's going to have the same result. It's like it's just pointless because Putin is going to laugh in Trump's face. Trump giving it, oh, I'll have this sorted in 3 minutes, but Zelensky will have to surrender all his land, all his minerals.
Yeah, yeah.
You do not negotiate someone losing a war, you fucking fat orange cunt. Fuck, what a twat.
Think, well, it's obviously, I don't know why he's got... Did Obama win the Peace Prize? Is that what riled Trump?
But he didn't even have to work for it. All he had to do was be the president.
Yeah, that's
he basically
right.
got elected and got the Nobel Peace Prize.
No, you're right. I agree with that. But I think what the Nobel Committee should do is give the Peace Prize to someone like Joe Biden or Camilla Harris just to piss
They should give it to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That would be the best.
Oh, dear. That would... then he'd have to invade Norway so he can take control.
Yeah, but it's not invading, is it? It's a security risk. So,
yeah. On a slightly more worrying note, well, it's always worrying when we're talking about Trump. So, when he dispatched the National Guard to California under the auspices of there was a national emergency in terms of rioting on the streets, which was actually, of course, caused by his administration. He has now sent the National Guard to Washington, D.C.
But that's where he lives.
It's where he lives. Crime rates are going down, but there is a crime wave emergency that necessitates the National Guard, happens to be Democratic controlled. Also wanting to send the National Guard to Chicago, also Democratic controlled. I mean, so the first time it happened in LA, it was a big hoo-ha about it. The press were all over it. It has had a mention, but pretty much no more of a mention than the National Guard are on the streets of Washington, D.C.
Well, welcome to dystopia.
No, you're right. It is. It's literally unfolding in front of our eyes.
I mean, Washington has been more than once the murder capital of the world. But
yes, now that is actually a good point. So murder rates going down in Washington, which they are, doesn't say it's a good place, but it's certainly heading in the right direction.
it's probably due to gentrification. The murderers can't afford to live there anymore.
Well, now that's something, talking about gentrification. So first of all, it was the immigrants that he was targeting. Now he's targeting the homeless. He's literally going to remove the homeless from the streets of Washington, D.C. as a starting point.
The UK did that for Meghan Markle's wedding. They removed all the homeless from Windsor.
Oh, I think it's despicable. And in fact, funnily enough, the last person who tried that was that corrupt Trump lawyer, Giuliano, when he was mayor of New York. So he cleaned up the streets of New York by basically
he shoved everyone to Las Vegas or somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I always remember that scene in. Do you remember that movie Soylent Green?
Soylent Green, yeah.
When that big digger machine was just scooping people up, the demonstrators, they were just scooping them up. Well, that's what's happening in America, 2025.
I thought you were going to talk about the scene in Borat 2 when Rudy Giuliani was trying to shag the allegedly 15-year-old younger sister
with
of
his
Borat.
trousers,
with his trousers down.
What did he say he was doing? What was it? He had to adjust his socks or something.
Fucking bang to rights, you dirty little fucker.
You don't hear much of Ali G. What's the actor's name? Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't hear much of him these days.
You will do. He keeps a low profile till it's time to make a new movie.
Oh.
I mean, he doesn't want to be constantly in the press because then you can't catch people like Rudy Giuliani because you're too famous.
Yes. Yeah. The other one you don't hear much of is who was that tall, lanky sort of actor, always in the press for having sex with girlfriends and what was his name? And now he's been accused of multiple rapes.
Oh yeah, the heroin addict fella.
What's his name?
The junkie.
He's not a junkie, is he?
He is. Yes, he's a definite
he might have been
junkie.
in the past.
Leopards and spots, young man.
Oh really? Oh.
Leopards.
You don't hear much of him these days.
I mean, he was an alleged comedian, but.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He was a comedian.
Russell Brand.
Thank you very much.
And he wasn't funny at all, but he did make a couple of good movies.
Yeah. What made me think about him, he was actually quite eloquent when being interviewed. He was quite a smart guy. And what made me think of it is Sacha Baron Cohen also interviews very well. He's obviously a pretty cogent chap. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, although he can't be that clever because he let Isla Fisher divorce him.
I can't remember who Isla Fisher was.
Oh, she's lovely.
Oh, really?
He was punching well above his weight.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
And,
anyway.
I mean, to be honest, he's probably one of the most successful British actors / comedians of all time because his films have grossed him literally hundreds of millions, especially the Borat.
Ricky Gervais, more successful.
Probably in the same
category, league.
I wouldn't like to say that he's in front of Sacha Baron Cohen.
You're right, actually, because Ricky Gervais has never actually had a blockbuster movie, has he?
No, although I did see one the other day that I wasn't aware of that I found fairly amusing. It was called Ghost or Ghost Town or something.
Ghost? What with? No,
not Patrick Swayze.
Swayze and Goldie Hawn.
It was basically he played a dentist who had a near-death experience, or in fact a dead experience, and was brought back to life. after a few minutes. But after that, he could see ghosts, and all these ghosts wanted him to help solve their issues so they could move on.
All right.
It was quite amusing.
Yeah.
But Ricky Gervais is a one-trick pony. He plays the same character in every film and in every series that he's ever been in. He's basically the downtrodden, sarcastic fucking...
Yeah.
He just doesn't have any ability apart from playing himself.
No, unlike Sacha Baron Cohen, who's either Ali G or Borat. I mean, they're not similar, are they?
He's played so much more. He's made more films, and he's played so many more characters. He's actually very versatile.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And funnily enough, I was tempted to watch one of his movies, The Chicago 7, The Miscarriage of Justice, with the 7 people arrested for demonstrating against the Vietnam War.
Yeah, he played a lawyer, I think.
No, he wasn't. He was one of the defendants.
All right.
Yeah. No, you're right. I take that back. You're right. He is actually quite versatile.
Also, he made another comedy film, Bruno, where he played a Norwegian male model.
He wasn't Norwegian, he was Austrian.
Whatever. It's all the same, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Cold Country, never been. Actually, I have.
I've never seen it because I'll tell you what I have I have difficulty watching cringe-worthy movies.
Oh no, this was genius. He went on one of those talk shows like Jerry Springer, but it wasn't Jerry Springer, and the audience were there to watch this guy who'd adopted a baby as a single gay man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember.
And they brought out this black baby, and the audience went fucking mental. And the host said, "So, what have you decided to call this child?" And he said, "Kunta Kinte." Oh my God, you should have seen the audience. If they'd have been allowed to bring their personal weapons in, he would have been shot full of holes.
I think he's come close to being shot a few times, actually.
Yeah, he had to hide a couple of times. He was almost lynched at the rodeo where he did where he sang the national anthem, the Kazakhstan national anthem, to the tune of Stars and Stripes.
Oh my God. Kazakhstan, that's where the character came from.
Oh, yes. Now I want to watch it all again.
I have difficulty watching those movies. They're too cringeworthy. I feel cringy inside.
No, but you're looking at it from the wrong end of the lens. You see you as one of the victims. What you've got to do is see yourself as the perpetrator.
Oh, maybe.
And then it becomes incredibly funny.
Maybe. Oh. So, so that's a bit of film chit-chat. We've done a bit of politics. Nothing going on.
I think that's enough. Let's get on with it. I've got so much to get through.
Oh, no, really?
And I'm going to learn you today. I'm going to learn you a bit of geography.
I've got a world map in front of me, so that might be a bit of a challenge.
I'm going to prove your world map wrong.
Flat earthers.
How many continents are there? Now, when I was at school...
7.
When I was at school, there were fucking 5.
Oh, really?
But since we've had PC and the woke fucking geography brigade, we've had to include micro fucking continents such as Madagascar.
Don't be ridiculous.
But you know what I mean. We've added 2 continents since I was.
Sorry, I might have remembered wrong. So I said 7. In fact, I think you're right. It's 5. It's North America.
It was
South
5.
America, Europe, Asia, Antarctica.
Now you've got Australia.
I've listed Australia, haven't I?
No, but it was 5, but now it is 7.
Oh, really? So I got it right.
Yeah, but we were both right. We're both right, but in fact, we're also both wrong.
Oh no! Why? How
because
many?
Because it's actually 8.
Ooh. What have we missed out? Greenland could be a continent.
No.
Big enough.
What we've missed out
is this Luke, by the way?
No, this is me. Do you mind? Oh. I am capable of running my own fucking podcast, cheeky monkey. Now, everyone knows the story of Atlantis, and while we're unsure whether that's myth or whatever, sunken land masses are a real thing. And there are few more fascinating than Zealandia, which is the continent that lurks beneath New Zealand. It's mostly submerged, and it stretches, get this, almost 2 million square miles. And Zealandia has long piqued the interest of scientists, and the first official study of the area began in the 1990s when an oceanographer called Bruce Lyondick, Dick of a Lion.
No. Lion Dick is his actual name.
Yes, but it's not spelt the way you would imagine. There's a couple of Y's in there. No, there's Y's in there. He noticed anomalies on the seafloor while studying the prehistoric supercontinent of Gondwana. Now, since then, scientists have determined that Zealandia separated from what is now Australia and Antarctica around 80 million years ago and sank beneath the South Pacific 60 million years later. And in just the last few years, an extensive survey of sunken land has mapped its geography in detail. And this research also confirmed that Zealandia is in fact Earth's 8th continent.
So it's in the South Pacific. So it's east of New Zealand. And how far?
It's towards Australia, clearly, because it was part of Australia.
Oh, so it's in the Tasman Sea in that case.
It's separated from Australia and Antarctica.
All right. So it's a big empty space there at the moment, actually.
Yes, that's where Zealandia used to live. Now, as one scientist put it...
How long ago is this? Sorry, when? What?
This happened 80 million years ago, and it sank 60 million years ago. Or 60 million years later, so it's only sank 20 million years ago.
So was there...
You were almost ready to see it.
Was there life on... There was obviously life on Earth 60 million years ago.
There was life on Mars.
No, Earth, you idiot. What was alive 60 million years ago?
Well, your mum.
No, seriously, what was alive 60 million years ago? What sort of animals were around?
Well,
Dinosaurs?
That would be dinosaur age, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
If anything. But anyway, Zealandia is submerged, and it lies deep beneath the waves of the Pacific, but it's inhabited.
Ooh.
That's because roughly 6% of the landmass is still above sea level, and it includes New Zealand and its outlying islands. And these are the highest points of what was once a much larger expanse of land. As a result, Zealandia wasn't so much discovered as finally recognised. In 1995, Bruce Lyondick noticed Zealandia for the first time when he was studying, as I say, Gondwana, a piece of the supercontinent Pangaea that geologists think split off roughly 180 million years ago to give us what is present-day South America, Africa, India, Australia, and Antarctica, when he made the find. He'd been studying the region since the 80s. He was trying to match Antarctica's geological features with the edges of New Zealand, which is a bit like trying to fit pieces of a rotten jigsaw puzzle back together.
It's really annoying because I've got a pot of pens right in the middle of my gap between New Zealand, Antarctica and Australia.
Who owns pens in this day and age?
What do you mean?
Good Lord. Are you a klepto? Do you steal one every time you go to the supermarket or something?
You idiot.
Why? When was the last time you purchased a writing instrument?
I do all the time because I do my drawings.
Are you that fellow who sits outside the supermarket doing caricatures?
Caricatures? No. Oh, I can't show you my caricature. That would have been a perfect opportunity for me to show you my caricature.
Scary. Anyway, this work that Lyondick was carrying out and his fellow researchers to take a look at a closer a closer look at the seabed around New Zealand, and what they found astonished them. The rock beneath the island nation might well constitute a continent in its own right. Most people learn in school that there are 7 continents these days.
What's that?
Why is there a handlebar mustache or some kind of 70s gay porn mustache on your caricature?
I used to have a mustache.
Is that when you were gay porning?
That was my YMCA days. Oh dear.
So as you almost correctly said earlier, most people today learn in school there are 7 continents: North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Antarctica, and Australia.
Oh, all right. Yep.
However, in a 2017 study published by the Geological Society of America, geologists posited that there are only actually 6, as Europe and Asia can be considered a single continent.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty big, actually. Asia and Europe. It's pretty big.
Whether Zealandia is considered the 7th or the 8th continent, then, is still up for debate.
Right,
But
I've got a way for him. Who's this Dick fellow?
Lion Dick.
What? Lion Dick?
Lion Dick.
I've got a very easy way to determine whether it is the 8th hidden continent.
And that is?
Because I have now researched this matter quite well, in depth.
Oh, dear God.
And assessed that dinosaurs, in fact, died out 66 million years ago.
Which is exactly when it sank.
And so that means that Zealandia probably has a wealth of dinosaur bones on it, establishing that it was definitely above ground all those years ago.
Yeah, because it only sank 20 million years ago.
60 million years ago, actually.
No, it separated 80 million years ago and sank 60 million years later.
Oh, later. Oh, I see.
So it would have been above ground when the dinosaurs perished.
Yeah, well, definitely.
So, regardless of its number, 7 or 8.
Why did it sink?
Oh, it just put on weight because it let itself go after it married Europe.
Because for something to sink, that would have a pretty dramatic effect on the rest of the
Yes, and
geography of the Earth.
2 million square miles suddenly sank into the ocean, that in itself could have caused a catastrophic event which wiped out the dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So there you go. We've solved the mystery.
That would be amazing.
You heard it first here.
We did. You did. Yep.
Well, anyway, on to more important matters. Geologists argued that this should be considered a continent in its own right.
Yeah, but that's bollocks, isn't it, really?
Well, not really.
Well, it
in
is,
the study,
it's underwater.
No, because in the study, the expert scientists explained that the rock beneath New Zealand meets the criteria that classify a landmass as a continent. And Lion-Dick called the area Zealandia when he recognised that New Zealand and its outlying islands weren't actually disparate, and also because he had a serious lack of imagination.
Clearly.
It wasn't long before other researchers took up this cause and pointed to all the qualities that made Zealandia fundamentally the same as other continents, just underwater.
Yes.
Zealandia is raised above the ocean floor, which means there's a clear difference between the submerged landmass and the surrounding seabed, and not just in their respective heights. Zealandia, unlike the seafloor around it, is made from the bulkier, less dense material that forms continental crusts. And the composition of this material meets the requirements for a continent. Zealandia is made up of 3 separate types of rock: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. And this variety reveals that it was formed and shaped by volcanic activity, heat, pressure, and erosion, just like every other continent.
Interesting. Sedimentary rock. I remember reading about that in school.
Sediment in your beer barrel. I remember reading about that in school.
The school of life.
Zealandia is also too big to be considered just a continental fragment. Although some scientists argued that Zealandia better deserved the less impressive designation of a microcontinent, others pushed back, noting that the rock beneath New Zealand is 6 times larger than even the biggest recognised microcontinent, which, as I mentioned earlier, is Madagascar. Whether Zealandia constitutes a continent or not can seem like a rather dry and technical point. However, the answer has real consequences for the region economically. The United Nations determines a country's right to drill offshore based on continental boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And if the entire landmass of Zealandia belongs to New Zealand, that significantly changes the island nation's fortunes.
But it's miles away. It's more than 12 miles off the coast of New Zealand.
No, New Zealand is still perched atop this landmass.
Oh, I see. So they're going to claim,
well, by some
the
estimates,
size of Australia.
By some estimates, as reported by the Business Insider in 2017, tens of billions of dollars worth of fossil fuels suddenly became available to the country once Zealandia was recognised as Earth's 8th continent. But while most of Zealandia lies beneath the ocean today, it was once a vibrant landmass teeming with life.
There we go. That's what I said. Dinosaurs.
So they have actually worked at piecing together the history of Zealandia. Probably in a bar over a couple of jars of Foster's.
Probably. I don't know if Foster's is that... Tui's is what they drink in Australia.
This is New Zealand, though.
Well, that's not Australian. Foster's is not Australian.
No, but neither is
New Zealand.
Neither is Australia.
No, you're right.
So few teams did more to underline Zealandia's right than the expedition set out to drill into Zealandia's submerged rock in 2017. And this project was a tricky one because the lost 8th continent is hidden beneath 2/3 of a mile of water. And to get a range of samples, the researchers had to drill 4,000 feet into the sediment over a period of 9 weeks. But their efforts proved fruitful. Geologists believe that Zealandia separated from Antarctica somewhere between 85 and 130 million years ago, and then broke off from Australia between 60 and 85 million years ago. And this 2017 research confirmed that theory and further posited that as Zealandia separated from Australia, its crust stretched and thinned out until it dropped to the bottom of the ocean. No human beings ever saw that continent above the water, but researchers were able to find countless fossils, crushed shells, and pollen samples that suggest that the continent spent more time than scientists previously thought as a landmass above the surface. That means that for a time, animals easily crossed between the continent's highest points and plants covered its tropical peaks.
I wonder if kangaroos were around that long ago.
They might have been aquatic beings then, and they just came across Zealandia and thought, oh, I'll just stop on here, see what it looks like, maybe put a tent down. So this discovery was a critical piece in several puzzles. First, that the discovery that the region's climate was once tropical offered scientists new climate data that doesn't just help them understand the past, but also makes them better able to predict climate shifts in the future, because we're really good at that. We can't even tell you if it's going to rain tomorrow. The research also answered long-standing questions about how the region's animals evolved and they spread from continent to continent. It paints a fascinating new picture of Zealandia as a verdant jungle full of prehistoric life, a jungle that is now at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Now, since Zealandia was designated as a continent in 2017...
Who by?
The Continent Designation Society of Terra.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit like Gulf of America.
Not really, because the Continent Designation Society of Terra Firma is a real organisation that I didn't just make up. Well, scientists have been working to map its boundaries, and this is easier said than done, obviously, because it's mostly underwater. We have only just started to discover Zealandia's secrets, said Dr. Deria Gura, an earth scientist at the University of Queensland.
Why did he have an English accent?
I don't know, maybe he went to Oxford. It's remained hidden. It's remained hidden in plain sight until recently, and is notoriously difficult to study. Why do people with lisps always use as many S's as possible as well?
Why has he suddenly developed a speech impediment?
Because he went to Oxford. You either lose the ability to say the letter R, or you spurt your S's all over the crowd.
Is that right? What? Posh English people don't say R?
I give you Jonathan Wass.
I can't. Where was the R?
Exactly. Jonathan Wass.
Oh, I see. They say "were" as opposed to "r."
He's very stupid when it comes to saying
Oh, all right. Yeah. You might be right.
The University of Queensland has teamed up with the Schmidt Ocean Institute to map the continent. And as the chief scientist on the project, Gura spent 28 days mapping 14,285 square miles along Zealandia's northwestern continent. Our expedition collected seafloor topographic map and magnetic data to gain a better understanding of how the narrow connection between the Tasman and the coral seas in the Cato Trough region, the narrow corridor between Australia and Zealandia, was formed, Gura explained painfully. However, the researchers at the University of Queensland aren't the only ones trying to map Zealandia. In fact, one group specifically has already come quite a long way in revealing the continent's history.
I want a picture.
In 2023, members of the Institute of Geological and Nuclear Scientists published a study in tectonics on their methods for locating the hidden continent using geochronology, which is basically the dating of rocks, by measuring radioactive decay and analyses of magnetic anomalies. Researchers were able to both map out the eighth continent's boundaries and determine all the types of rocks that make up Zealandia. Yes, you have pictures of it there. Is that photographs? Actual real-time footage?
I see what they mean. It is absolutely enormous. It's basically, it's probably as big as Australia, or if not a bit bigger.
Well, it's probably, I don't know, because Australia, the Gold Coast alone is 1 million square miles.
What?
Australian Gold Coast alone covers an area of 1 million square miles.
That'd be ridiculous.
It does. I remember this from another episode. When we were talking, it was a murder episode where we were talking about the police who had to cover during the gold rush in Australia. And they had like 6 coppers to cover the 1 million square miles.
1 million square miles is 1,000 miles by 1,000 miles.
Mm. It might be 500,000, but it's a big number. A big number. Anyway, before conducting this analysis, researchers had to go out and collect samples of the rocks from the continent by dredging the northern regions of Zealandia. And the rock samples showed evidence of sandstone, volcanic pebbles, and ballistic lavas dating from 145 million to 40 million years old.
Dinosaur bones.
Yes, dinosaur bones. The scientists analysed and interpreted magnetic anomalies within the rocks to determine patterns related to volcanic activity, and this allowed them to determine where exactly the continent's boundaries were located. Lead author Nick Mortimer and his team used this information to create a map of the major geological units across Zealandia. This work completes offshore reconnaissance geological mapping of the entire Zealandia continent, the team concluded. The study also revealed how the crust of Zealandia stretched over time, causing the cracks that allowed water to fill into the land and led to the 8th continent's underwater fate. For now, scientists have their work cut out for them. The sprawling 8th continent stretches across 2 million square miles. Mortimer and his team may have successfully created a geological map, but there's still much of Zealandia to explore. The seafloor is full of clues for understanding the complex geologic history of both the Australian and Zealandian continental plates, Gura stated. Indeed, as researchers like her, oh, she's a chick. That negates all of my voice talent.
You're right. You got to do a girl's voice.
So, am I familiar?
That would get painful after 10 minutes talking like that, I can tell you.
So, indeed, as researchers like her press ahead in examining the secrets of the deep, excitement grows about what the lost continent might eventually reveal. And that is the 8th continent of Zealandia.
It's interesting stuff, but I imagine there's probably quite a few other hidden continents elsewhere.
Well, bear in mind that the Earth probably was one big, massive crust at one point. And the underwater water, or the underland water, forced its way to the surface via volcanic activity and split us off into various different directions.
I mean, if you look at...
Yes.
If I'm looking at... Oh, well, actually, you said Madagascar. Maybe they've got a great big not subterranean. Is it subterranean? Is that underwater?
Sub-aqua.
No. Sub-aqua area, as could Japan and Cuba. And
Wouldn't it be
Mexico.
funny if Cuba was actually part of Florida?
Well, it was, obviously. The whole lot must have been together before it all split up. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's amazing what people spend their time doing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, how do you go about getting a grant for that kind of research?
Grant for researching Zealandia.
Would you pay me to go and hang around in New Zealand with dipping my feet in the water for a couple of years?
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, staying on a Antipodean theme, we're going to move over to Australia. And we're going to talk about the Gimpy Gimpy. And this is not the nickname given to you by your nanny.
Gimpy Gimpy. Can you imagine? It's some sort of mythological animal.
No, but you're on the right sort of track because, as we know, everything in Australia is designed to murder you.
Yes.
And this is no different. It's a plant. And although the leaves of the Gimpy Gimpy plant may look soft and fuzzy, one touch will make anybody regret that they ever saw it. That's because this stinging bush delivers one of nature's most painful experiences.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact,
I've read about that, bushes that give you a stingy sensation.
This native to the Australian rainforest has a sting that's so intense, it's driven soldiers to suicide.
Oh my
and
God.
The British government once considered using it as a biological weapon of war.
Really? What's it called? Gimpy Gimpy?
Gimpy Gimpy. Now, the Gimpy Gimpy or the...
Sorry, what's this got to do with Zealandia?
No, this is Strange Stuff podcast. I can talk about whatever I want.
Oh, I see. We've changed subject. You got to warn me. You got to have a little light that.
I thought it was pretty clear when we went from underwater prehistoric fossils to a plant in Australia that we'd actually segued into a new segment.
Yeah, but that was the problem. It was the segueing that was lacking slightly.
Well, I said staying on the subject of Antipodia.
Oh, I see. That was it. That was the extent of it. Anyway, so Gimpy Gimpy, suicide soldiers.
Also known as dendrocnide or dendrocnide, moriodes, is a type of stinging bush that gets its name from the Australian town of Gimpy.
Gimpy Gimpy.
Where gold miners first identified and named it the Gimpy bush in the 1860s. And you know why they called it the Gimpy bush? Because it turned you into a fucking gimp. The plant thrives in tropical environments and is largely found across Australia in New South Wales, but is most common in southern Queensland and up to the Cape York Peninsula. It's especially common in the Atherton tablelands. However, it's also been found in Indonesia. And the Gimpy Gimpy is one of 4 species of stinging tree or brush in Australia, but it's by far the most painful. And this poisonous plant, which is in the nettle family, can grow up to 10 feet tall and has large heart-shaped leaves that can measure 2 feet across. So it's out to get you. I mean, we're talking triffid size here.
2 feet across, 60 centimetres?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And although the plant does bear small purple or red fruits, which are eaten and distributed by birds, it's not worth picking, because this Gimpy is covered from leaf to stem in this fuzzy hair. Deceptively soft-looking, this hair is treacherously toxic. And it's through these hairs that the Gimpy Gimpy delivers its neurotoxic sting. And they work like a self-injecting hypodermic needle. There's a bulb at the shaft of each hair that supplies it with toxin, and each hair is easily broken off the leaf or stem. And when it breaks off the bulb, the hair, it sticks into the skin and releases its toxin. And the hairs are so small, they practically disappear into the skin on contact. And can continue to cause pain for months after injection.
Months?
Yes. Worse still, the Gimpy Gimpy sheds its hairs into the air around it. And because it sheds, just being near the nasty little fucker puts you at risk for toxic exposure.
If you breathe it in?
Yes. It's unknown why exactly these hairs cause such pain, because the toxin from the bulb isn't well understood, and it's possible that there is a chemical reaction happening within the hair itself. However it works, the toxin is incredibly stable, so much so that it can cause up to 2 years of pain in the body. The stability of this toxin also ensures that even centuries-old dried samples can wreak havoc on contact. The hairs of the Gimpy Gimpy cause immediate pain. The first sensation has been described as feeling like 30 wasp stings. Not 29, not 31, 30. After that, your lymph nodes will begin to swell, which creates a sensation of immense pressure, and then the pain only intensifies until it peaks around 30 minutes later. As I said, you don't have to come in contact with the plant. Just being near it for too long will begin to wreak havoc on your respiratory system. Overexposure has caused nosebleeds, respiratory damage, and intense sneezing, and this is most likely due to the airborne hairs that the Gimpy Gimpy sheds. There is no known antidote to this torturous, stinging, hairy leaf. Dr. Hugh Spencer of the Cape Tribulation Tropical Research Station advises victims not to rub the area of infection, as this can break the hairs and spread them further into the skin. He also recommends, in a very Trump-like manner, of pouring a 1 to 10 solution of diluted hydrochloric acid over the sting.
I mean, that's a pretty dodgy recommendation from a doctor.
Especially if you get your 1 to 10 ratio the wrong way around.
1 to 10, that is still... I thought dilute sulfuric acid... Is it hydrochloric or sulfuric?
Hydrochloric.
I thought that even a 1 to 10, that is pretty bloody strong.
Hydrochloric is not as strong as sulfuric. Sulfuric's the really dangerous one.
All right.
And yeah, this should help neutralise the pain, because while your arm's melting off the bone,
I was going to say,
you've got other things to worry about.
3rd-degree burns from the hydrochloric acid would kill anything.
Finally, and this is actually quite genius, using waxing strips to pull out as many of the hairs as possible.
Oh,
So you
right,
give
that's
yourself
bit
a
more
waxing.
sensible. Yeah.
Victims
Have you ever
will
had a waxing?
no,
No. No, nor have I. I just wondered.
not my particular kink.
Well, you never know.
Victims will experience intense pain no matter what, but this approach should at least minimise long-term effects, which have, as I said, been known to last for months. One of the first accounts of severe pain caused by Gimpy Gimpy comes from a surveyor named A.C. Macmillan in 1866. And while surveying North Queensland, Macmillan reported that his pack horse was stung, got mad, and died within 2 hours. There are even local stories of horses running off cliffs to end their pain. Marina Hurley, an entomologist and ecologist who studied the plant while working towards a PhD in Queensland in the late 1980s, described the sting of the Gimpy Gimpy as the worst kind of pain you can imagine, like being burnt with hot acid and electrocuted at the same time. During her research, Hurley came upon the story of Cyril Bromley, who fell into a Gimpy Gimpy plant during his military training in World War II. He reported that the pain was so intense that he had to be strapped down to a hospital bed for 3 weeks, feeling as mad as a cut snake. Although Cyril lived to tell the tale, he knew of a less fortunate soldier who did not. The other unlucky soldier, who felt the Gimpy Gimpy's wrath, shot himself to escape the agony. Hurley also heard of a Queensland forester who suffered residual pain from the toxic stings for 2 whole years. Another forester, Les Moore, lost his sight for a few days after being stung by the plant across the face. Fortunately, foresters sent into the brush today are given gloves.
Oh, well, that's good then.
Also respirators and antihistamine tablets to help protect them from this beastly plant. But there are some creatures that are, of course, in Australia, that are impervious to it and even choose to dine on it.
And that is an example of a wombat.
Well, surprisingly, these include the nocturnal leaf-eating chrysomelid beetle and also a small marsupial known as the red-legged pademelon.
I wonder what colour its legs are.
I don't know. It doesn't say. Humans can eat the juicy fruit of the Gimpy Gimpy, but only if they've taken the time to properly and painstakingly remove every one of its hairs. Why would you even take that chance?
Exactly. What sort of insanity?
I mean, apart from a drinking game, which would be hilarious.
Why would you decide to eat the fruit of something
All right, lads.
that caused you 2 years?
We're going to eat the fruit of the Gimpy Gimpy, and if you get stung, you have to do a shot. You're right. Yeah. You load the gun, I'll pull the trigger. Back in 1968, the British Army expressed significant interest in the plant, and that is because they were interested in using the neurotoxin to develop a biological weapon of war, which is against every convention ever signed. But there's no evidence to suggest that they did, which means they fucking did. Either it was basically just a rumour or they destroyed all the evidence. I'm going with B. Even if they did succeed in developing this biological weapon of war, it says here, however, doing so would be in violation of the Geneva Protocol of 1925, which banned the use of such weapons after World War I. The Gimpy Gimpy, however, obviously doesn't abide by international treaties, leaving it free to induce terror in those who are unlucky enough to fall into its trap.
Queensland,
so don't be
that's
a gimp.
Quite mainstream, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, there's plenty of people around in Queensland.
That's where Kate lives.
Oh, is it Queensland? Where? Well, it's quite big. Where does she live?
Brisbane. Brizzy.
All right, but that's right in the middle of the Gold Coast, isn't it, Brisbane? Or is it the start of the Gold Coast?
Isn't it Queensland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was.
I think Brisbane's right in the middle of the east coast of Australia, and Queensland's above it, New South Wales is below it. I wonder if there's a new North Wales.
Why? The old one is shit.
No, but you've got New South Wales. Why not New North Wales?
Because they ate outsiders, don't they?
In fact, it doesn't make any sense. Australia's completely confused.
Nothing in Australia makes sense.
You've got the Northern Territory, perfect sense. You've got Western Australia in the west, perfect sense. You've got South Australia in the middle. And then on the east coast, you've got Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland.
Yes, because this was obviously all due to Queen Victoria. They went through a phase of being very monarchistic.
What do you mean monarchistic? What the Aborigines, when England took over the place, they were monarchistic. They didn't give a shit about Queen Victoria.
I think, didn't we
invade?
Discover Australia during the reign of Edward the First? Wasn't it before Queen Victoria?
I mean, it's mad.
Yeah, but bear in mind that they didn't have the same mapping technology we have today. They probably found a new bit and thought, oh, we'll just call this, we're in the north, we'll call it Northern Territories.
Well, you didn't need much bloody mapping technology to know where north, south, east and west are.
Yeah, but, maybe they've been drinking.
Does Kate live on the coast? I mean, does she actually overlook the water?
I know she's within fairly short driving distance of beaches.
Ah, so she's a surfing girl, is she?
Sofa surfer, maybe. I don't think that's her bag. Anyway, I did have another fucking story to go through, but I seem to have filled up this hour.
I'll tell you what, just do the segue into it. What's the connection?
Okay.
And being in the Southern Hemisphere.
Talking of freak shows.
What?
Talking of freak shows, let's talk about the Mütter Museum in Philadelphia, where some of history's strangest medical oddities are on display.
You're just talk about... crap on you.
It's Strange Stuff podcast. I have the right to talk about anything fucking strange or weird.
You're right, yeah, but I mean, you've screwed up now because we've only got time for 2.
No, well, we're going to have to do it now. It's quite a quick one. We all thought that the freak show was a thing of the past,
I should hope so.
It's not. Connoisseurs of the medical macabre have very likely heard of the legendary Mütter Museum in Philadelphia. It's a weird, world-renowned wonderland filled with anatomical oddities, pathological specimens, human curiosities, and vintage medical instruments.
Oh, I don't think I want to hear about it.
And the only known samples of Albert Einstein's brain.
Why did they get them?
I don't know. They fucking stole them, probably. Inside this creepy Mütter Museum, skeletons of all shapes and sizes reside, alongside, for some reason, President Grover Cleveland's jaw tumour, deformed babies in jars, and preserved organs of all kinds.
Yeah.
And while its contents might resemble...
Can't we go back to the Gimpy Gimpy tree?
Look, this isn't that terrible. I mean, it's terrible, but... So while its contents might resemble a mad scientist's funhouse, the museum's roots actually pay tribute to one of the... Get this, I'm going to call this out later, no doubt. One of the most humane, respected, and talented surgeons in American history.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I'm looking at his picture. He's a cunt. Born in Virginia in 1811.
I hope he's dead. Oh, he's dead.
Thomas Dent Mütter was orphaned at just 8 years old, and he went on to graduate from the University of Pennsylvania's medical school in 1831. That couldn't have taken long in those days, could it?
I know, medical school in 1831.
You take this leech, you place it on the patient's titty, and then you stand back and wait. Well done, you're now a doctor. And here's some cocaine for ghosts in the blood. The good doctor opened his own office shortly thereafter, about 10 minutes. And his unique empathy as a young surgeon quickly garnered many loyal patients around Philadelphia. He was inclined to help even the most hopeless of cases. Now, this is where I'm going to question his fucking moral efficacy, such as those with drastic disfigurements who most people would consider monsters. He was a fucking pervert. He got his jollies off human deformities. He also became renowned for his knowledge and ability to treat rare conditions, such as, ghosts in the blood. That was basically it, wasn't it? That's all they had in the 18s.
Why is this museum still in operation today?
Oh, you'll find out. He would also be the first surgeon in Philadelphia to administer ether anesthesia to patients.
All right, well, that was worthwhile.
Yeah, only because he could cut...
I mean, seriously, it was.
Yeah, but only because he could cut more bits off them without them fucking fainting or screaming out.
So, sorry, ether was around in 18-somethings or
1830s. So, over the course of his career, he amassed quite a large collection of research materials, along with medical oddities and anomalies that he used to teach his students as a professor. And this wide array of specimens would be what first populated the museum when it opened in 1863, just 4 years after his death from gout and lung disease, both of which I hope are on display in his fucking museum.
His big toe.
Yeah. It started with just 1,700 objects and the doctor's donation of $30,000. And the museum has since grown to over 25,000 specimens, with a vast literary and research collection that's maintained by the College of Physicians in Philadelphia. There are both permanent and special exhibitions, and the special exhibitions carry names such as Broken Bodies, Suffering Spirits, Injury, Death and Healing in Civil War Philadelphia. This particular exhibit, the Philadelphia War one, explores war injuries, from how to treat them to what it was like to experience them. So you could actually get your arm shot off by a cannon as part of this exhibition. It came complete with an interactive opportunity to see what it would be like to have an arm amputated. Just hold it out, right? Bite on this. Another popular exhibit at the Mütter Museum is Grimm's Anatomy, Magic and Medicine, which delves into the more disturbing side of iconic fairy tales. For example, it explores how German brothers Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm's version of Cinderella draws parallels to the tradition of Chinese foot binding. So many of Grimm's fairy tales deal with the corporeal human body, whether dealing with sicknesses or magical transformation, or the various unpleasant things that can happen to the body. And it's true. If you look at Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Snow White even. Curator anecdotes said in 2012, quite often there is no happily ever after. Of course, there are detractors like myself who would find the Mütter Museum's exhibitions to be in poor taste. The question of ethics surrounding the display of actual human bodies has been raised numerous times, but the curators of the museum have always cited the scientific merits of the collection, and the Mutter has frequently leaned into the controversy in a tongue-in-cheek manner. But this all changed very recently in September of 2022 when a new executive director named Kate Quinn took over at the museum. And she wasn't having none of it. Almost immediately, she made a series of controversial decisions that reignited the debate over the ethics, including pulling most of the museum's online content for review and criticising previous directors for their alleged lack of ethical standards. Defending her choices in a 2023 interview with Philadelphia Magazine, Quinn said, "I still do believe in the power of collections to teach, but the ethics have to be at the forefront of what you're doing."
Well done, Kate.
Yes. Her decisions drew instant criticism. Some accused her of snobbery, while others said she was ignoring the museum's historical significance in order to push an agenda. The Wall Street Journal ran an op-ed from a former head of college entitled "Cancel Culture Comes for Philly's Weirdest Museum." Well, sorry, but I agree with it. It's like, it's no different to Barnum's fucking freak show. It's just...
Yeah. No, I agree.
Employees...
Who wants to see it?
Employees... Yeah, I know.
All that stuff.
Why?
If you weren't a medical professional, why would you want to see it?
Because it's good to wank over. I mean, that's basically it, isn't it? It can only be that. You fucking freaks. But thanks for listening.
Yeah, exactly. But thanks for listening.
Employees began speaking out anonymously about their tense relationship with the new director, with one report stating that 13 employees resigned within Quinn's first 9 months in the position. So it wasn't exactly a storm out. "I think anyone who is in this role and coming in at this time would be the face of change," Quinn said. "It's not me coming in and saying we have to change everything. Society is changing around us." Her assertions did not stop the criticism. Online petitions emerged calling for her removal from the role, and social media feeds were rife.
Not rife.
Rife. Social media. With detractors angry at the changes being made at the museum, many of whom accused her of simply disliking the museum as a concept, which Quinn denied. And why would you apply for a job at a place you fucking hated? Unless you wanted to change it for the better. Which is a bit silly when you consider that Trump applied to be president of the United States. And he certainly didn't want to change it for the better. In June 20...
so you finish your story, then I'll cover one more thing with Trump.
In June 2024, it was reported that 2 donors to the museum, not financial donors, but people who actually donated body parts, were so upset about the removal of the Mutter's online content that they asked for their body bits back. Now, one of these donors, Robert Pendarvis, had given his heart to the museum. Now, I have questions. And he worked with a previous curator to make videos about acromegaly, a rare condition that he had, which causes organs, bones, and tissue to grow beyond the average size. Now, Pendarvis showed these videos to medical providers to help educate them on the condition. And when the videos were taken down and he asked for his heart back, he said, "I didn't come across this decision lightly. It's just that they're not letting it be used for the reason that I gave it to the museum. I think they're actually more disrespectful to donors that have donated to the museum for education. And the education aspect of their donation is being squashed." Another donor, Rachel Lance, who gave the museum an unusually large non-cancerous tumour that she'd had surgically removed, also reached out to ask about her donation. And recounting the phone call that she had with Quinn, she said, "The things that she said to me during that phone call were, in my opinion, extremely alarming. For example, she told me that once a museum has tissue, they could do whatever they want with it. There's no need for them to be responsible to any any governing authority or the people who donated it. And she's quite right, because you give something to a museum, it's no longer yours.
Correct.
She verbatim told me that she sees no difference between human donations and human remains or a piece of pottery. Fair comment.
Fair comment.
Both the International Council of Museum and the American Alliance of Museums have guidelines saying that human remains have to respect the wishes of the people they came from. Now, the controversy continued up until April of this very year.
Mm-hmm.
After less than 3 years in the position, Quinn stepped down, and the College of Physicians announced that science historians Erin McCleary and Sarah Ray would be taking over her former role.
There you go.
Speaking to WHYY, which I'm guessing is a radio station,
I could only imagine.
After the leadership shake-up in 2025, one current employee said that the staff were thrilled about Quinn's departure. We are now in a position where we have the right people in place to move forward and get more freaky deekies into the museum for people to wank over.
They didn't say that, or is that the official statement?
That was word for word what they said on the radio. They also said to move forward with that information in a way that is responsible and is true to the nature of the museum and the collection, and is not going to be a kind of destructive process. Certainly, museums need to change with the times, but if Quinn's tenure as director is anything to go by, both the Mütter Museum staff and patrons agree that the institution, although macabre, is of historical and scientific value and importance. I disagree. I disagree in a big way, but it says here, hopefully current and future directors keep this in mind. I don't understand why we need a display of oddities and freaks of nature.
No, for the medical profession, I can understand it, but why it needs to be open to the public to just ghoul at, No.
Yeah. I mean, It is just P.T. Barnum, isn't it? It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of this rather longer episode than normal. So value for your free money. And yeah.
Well done.
So thanks for listening. Hope you
Very
enjoyed our
nicely.
little tales.
Yeah.
With my professional segueing.
I was just about to say. Oh dear. Yeah.
Don't forget you can follow us on our very limited social media. Send us a like, send us a subscribe, send us any stories that you might want us to cover, like what Luke did, and save me the hassle of finding more stuff to talk about next week.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
In the meantime, have yourselves a strange week. Don't go gimpy gimpy.
No.
And if you do, wax your bikini line, because apparently that's the only cure. So we'll see you same time next week. Be good, be lucky.
Bye for now.